This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana, the Reverend Charles Williams served the Circle City for decades. But this morning, a park named in his honor sits empty. Only RTV6 is breaking down the reason for the delay.
It's been a year since a Cumberland man died protecting his girlfriend during an armed robbery. This morning, how his family is remembering him.
Are you packing your bags for a holiday vacation? I'm working for you with the brand new details of a study so you don't fall victim to a rental scam.
Plus, chances are you've ordered something online in the last few weeks. We're live at FedEx as the shipping company is right in the middle of its busiest time of year.
And why buy new when you can save some serious cash by shopping used? We're looking at which items you shouldn't skimp on so you don't waste your money.
And it's 6 o'clock here on Wednesday, December 11th. Welcome to Good Morning, Indiana.
I just want a gift, by the way.
Yeah.
Whether it's new or old or reused. Ladies, just a gift.
Don't skip.
Okay, well, you're going to get something very interesting out of my crawl space. That's all I'm saying. And meteorologist Todd Clausen is back with us after a little bit of time off. And Todd, you were telling us earlier you were in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And it was actually warmer in Buffalo than it was here in Central Indiana. You didn't bring back those couple of degrees warmer.
Who would have thought? Went to Buffalo for a football game on Sunday, and it actually wasn't that bad. I had my snow pants and everything, and I didn't even need them here. But you do need the layers here this morning as you walk out the door, as temperatures are cold. We're in the teens and 20s across the area. There's some high, thin clouds out there, but no precipitation. That is the good news, as we will be dealing with quiet conditions at least this morning. So these high, thin clouds are drifting through the area this morning. I'll expand out, and I've been keeping an eye on this batch of snow shower activity that's making its way through now central Illinois, and it's really holding itself together. Originally, it was expected to fall apart, but we'll have to keep an eye on that to see if maybe a few snow showers could sneak into some locations, mainly north of Indianapolis here throughout the morning hours. If we did work some snow showers in, at this point, we're not expecting much of anything in the way of accumulation, but nonetheless, it does look like that's a possibility. So let's get you out the door on this Wednesday morning. Starting off very cold, as we mentioned, very little warming as we work our way into the noon hour with mostly sunny skies. We'll get up to right around 30 degrees. This is the coldest it will be for the remainder of the week. What's happening right now outside? We'll talk about the warm-up heading our way coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a live look at I-465 and State Road 37, the Harding Street exit on the south side. Traffic there on the interstate and the exit ramps traveling up to speed. No major issues to slow you down. So let's take a look at our Traffic Now maps. Plan out your commute for you. If you're heading into downtown from the northwest side, starting you off here in the Dogleg, I-865 heading down southbound I-65 to I-70 at the North Split. It's a 17-minute drive. That is normal. Everything is traveling up to speed.
The time now is 6:03. A park in honor of an Indy icon has yet to take shape. There are questions about its future and why the city is waiting to see what happens. The Reverend Charles Williams Park sits across the street from the home of Lois Love Hill. She's lived in this neighborhood for more than 6 decades. So this park is in Charles Williams' honor, but I don't see anything over there to honor Charles Williams but the name of the park.
That's right.
What happened?
We don't know.
If you're not in the culture, if you're not willing to understand, if you're not willing to discuss the issue, then you'll have a misconception.
Charles Williams was an iconic leader of the Indiana Black Expo and the Indianapolis community.
Charles was helping out here. Charles was in these churches preaching about how they had to help us, how they had to come together.
I have prostate cancer.
In 2002, Williams would face his biggest enemy, cancer.
If I took some symptoms seriously, I may not have been in the condition that I'm in today.
Following his death in 2004, this piece of property was named in his honor as a park in 2015. At a recent Black Expo planning session for its 50th anniversary, a man raised concerns about the park, demanding answers. So we got to work.
I don't see any point in having his name stuck in the ground over there. and doing nothing with the property that they say is Charles Williams Park.
The creation of the park did come with a blueprint, calling for a playground, a parking lot, a performance shelter, and a trail connected to the Monon and Fall Creek greenways. At the time, the development was priced at $1.7 million. Progress is on hold, as an advisory group which oversees the property has been meeting for about 6 months about the park's future.
I want a park, but I want a safe park, a park they can come and feel safe in.
So, Raphael, you took concerns from neighbors to this advisory group. What did they have to say to you?
So I spoke to Robert Caldwell. He is the president of the advisory group. I want to take you inside my reporter's notebook. He tells me that he's waiting for a grant that will be $1.5 million that he's expecting to get. As you may recall from my story, the original cost of that park is $1.7 million. Now, once they get the dollars, since there's a difference, they're going to have to update their design plans to reflect their new budget. As you can see, 1.5 does not cover 1.7. So they're going to have to make some changes. We'll keep you updated on that. Now, Indy Parks did send me a statement. It says the group is not affiliated with Indy Parks as it functions as its own entity. There are guidelines as with any Friends of Parks group, but as we serve with partners, the mission and outreach, of course, of other items, we will keep on top of this situation.
Time now is 6:06. Are you packing your bags this holiday season for maybe a Christmas family vacation or just looking for a place to rent? Well, this morning, the Better Business Bureau has a warning for you about rental scams that you need to be on the lookout for. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning from the Better Business Bureau with more. Kelsey, what do we need to know?
Well, there are several ways that scammers are trying to take your money, and the BBB found in their new study that rental scams and vacation rental scams are on the rise here in Indianapolis. So I'm joined with Tim with the BBB. So tell me what your study found.
Well, this study was done across the nation, and what happens is people will take rental properties, homes, even vacation rentals. They will take a picture of it, put it on the internet, and then they will offer that as a rental property. A lot of times for money that is, or for costs that are, below market value. So it looks like a great deal. They'll try to get a first down payment on that, and then they'll disappear. So you think you've got an apartment, you think you've got some sort of vacation rental all lined up, you've paid your deposit, and it doesn't really exist.
Yeah, and I think we've all may have learned from our own experiences that if it seems too good to be true, especially on the internet, it probably is.
Yeah, that's what we really see. If it's price that's really below market price, that's a real tip off there that probably you really should stay away from that. Also, if they don't let you actually see the property, if it's an apartment or house like that, and if they ask for some sort of unusual payment, that type of thing. So it's very pervasive out there. It's very easy to do. These people are opening up these websites. If they get found out, they close that down and open up another one. So it's an easy thing to do, and there's a lot of them on the internet right now.
And of course, if you do find yourself in the middle of a scam, you can always report it to the Better Business Bureau.
Absolutely. We want you to report that to us. Go on scamtracker.org. You can see the scams that are going on as well as reported scams. So scamtracker.org, please do that.
All right. Thank you so much. So coming up in the next half hour, we are going to have tips on how you can avoid these scams because like we said earlier, they are everywhere across the internet. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. It has been 1 year since a man sacrificed his life to protect his girlfriend during a robbery in Cumberland. Now, loved ones are remembering Gregory Raleigh. Family members say the 37-year-old ran inside the Dollar General store on East Washington Street after noticing a robbery inside while his girlfriend was shopping. Police believe one of the robbery suspects, a 14-year-old boy, shot and killed Raleigh. While it did not take long to arrest the teen, Raleigh's brother says the wheels of justice are moving slowly.
We suffered several setbacks during the prosecution efforts, and we're just kind of getting frustrated at this point. The pain that the family is going to feel, it's going to continue forever, but we just hope to get justice sooner than later.
The boy accused of shooting Raleigh and a second robbery suspect face charges.
The time now is 6:09. Let's take you to Grant County. The search for a killer continues in Marion, nearly 5 years after someone shot and killed a young father.
The hardest part is the holidays because the kids want to know what happened to their dad.
David Wise was found dead on January the 3rd of 2015 on the Cardinal Greenway Trail near 8th and D Street. The 23-year-old left behind a young son and daughter. Marion police say they pursued every possible lead in this case with no new information that's led to a suspect. Desperate for answers, Wise's mother is turning to the public for help.
I relive January 3rd every day in my head. When I close my eyes, I see my son laying in that casket. We're coming up on the 5-year mark, and it's hard, and we want answers. We want to know what happened to my child, her brother. He was a father.
Let's help that mother with her plea. If you have any information that could help this family get justice, you're asked to call Marion Police.
At 6:10, making changes to attract and retain teachers in Indiana. It's all part of Governor Eric Holcomb's 2020 agenda. The proposals announced Tuesday would address some of the issues brought up by those thousands of teachers and supporters at last month's Red for Ed rally here at the State House. The governor says he wants to make teacher pay more competitive and make the mandatory 15-hour externship for teachers optional instead of required. The Indiana State Teachers Association calls that requirement an unfair burden. His agenda also calls for new distracted driving laws to replace the current one that officials say cannot be enforced. It also pushes lawmakers to raise the smoking age from 18 to 21, and the governor says he will support legislation to give pregnant women accommodations in the workplace, like more frequent breaks or temporary job restructuring. For a more in-depth look at his entire agenda, you can go to the RTV6 app right now and just click on that story.
It is the busiest time of the year for those in the shipping business. Next at 6:19, we are live at FedEx getting a first-hand look at how your gifts get from point A to point B. Todd.
And as you walk out the door this morning, you're walking out to the coldest temperatures we will see this entire week. As you get in the car, you're going to have to turn the heat on and scrape the windshield for some frost. That is a no-brainer as we go out throughout the day, though temperatures do slowly start to moderate with some high clouds. We'll talk about the warming trend in our next storm system that's heading our way coming up in Maine weather when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:11. Stay with us. You'll be right back.
Only on RTV6, an Indianapolis woman needs help with her 3-year search.
She's looking for a couple that evacuated central Indiana after a tornado destroyed their Kokomo home. Crystal Brace is in the middle of the chaos, ripped apart homes. She met a married couple in their 50s. At the time, they were cramming everything they could into their car, leaving only enough room for their dog. In their rush to leave, the unknown couple, likely named James and Nina Townsend, left behind possessions money can't replace. Brace says she's been searching for the Townsends for more than 3 years. The phone number she had for them has since been disconnected, and her searches of social media have done no good. She hopes to send the couple, who she believes moved to North Carolina, a gift of lost memories this holiday season.
That'd be the best Christmas gift for me, I think, just to be able to see how they were doing and to give them this amazing, hard-earned stuff that would just be great.
Among the items left behind are a Bible, family photos, a folded American flag, United States veteran pocket watch, military ribbons and lapel pins, and a U.S. Army certificates bearing the name of the Townsends. Now, on our Facebook page, we did hear from someone who believes she has tracked this couple down. Unfortunately, the woman has since passed away. So we are going to work today to connect Crystal there and Mr. Townsend so we can hopefully get them reunited with those items.
We hope that we can make that reunion. That would be super special. On this cold December day, talking about the month of May at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway may just warm you up. I'm warmed up already. 2013 Indy 500 champ Tony Kanaan and IMS President Doug Bowles made a grand entrance, as you can see, in an ambulance. Why? Because on Tuesday, the pair announced that Global Medical Response is the new title sponsor of the IMS road race. The GMR Grand Prix will be the first race in the month of May. GMR subsidiary AMR IndyCar safety team is at every IndyCar race, and the drivers know them very well.
Being at the speeder for this long, I actually never really driven an ambulance with the sirens on and the front stretch. So It's a great announcement. Obviously, AMR has been with us. It's our safety team, and the guys that take care of us at the racetrack. They're right there when we have an issue. So it was honored to be able to announce their partnership.
It's always good to see Tony Kanaan. That just warms me up. Also included in this partnership is for GMR's All Clear Foundation to become an official IndyCar charity. That foundation will provide race tickets to first responders in each IndyCar market.
Very cool. Well, I want Todd to scoot over so I can see those numbers behind him. Todd, this is important for us going forward this week.
Next time, we are sending you to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
We will pay for it. We will go to Hawaii and come back.
As long as I bring back the warmer temperatures, right? I wish I could do that. And we do have some warmer air heading on our direction. Our average high this time of year is right around 40 degrees. The warmest temperature I have in our forecast is 45, and that is going to occur at the end of the week. So obviously that's not a whole lot warmer than 40. And this morning you are walking out to a temperature that's in the teens in most locations. So it's very, very cold this morning. In fact, this is the coldest it's going to be the entire week. 19 degrees is the current temperature, just a light wind out of the southwest. Check out the moon. It's not full until the early morning hours of the 12th, but it's very, very bright. And with the colder temperatures this time of year and the longer nights, the moon is obviously out a lot longer. So it could be pretty out there for you if you're into checking out those kind of things. 18 right now in Greeton Castle as well as Lafayette, 15 in Crawfordsville, 16 in Richmond, a few 20s splatter the board here in Bloomington as well as Greenfield. So you definitely need to bundle up with the hat, the gloves, and also the very heavy coat. So there's some high thin clouds moving through right now, but that's really just about it. As we expand out for you, this cluster of snow has been holding itself together pretty well coming out of Iowa now into central Illinois. Not out of the question, I think, now at this point that we could see some light snow showers make their way into northern portions of central Indiana throughout the morning hours. Not expecting much, if anything, in the way of accumulation, maybe coating at best. But again, it's just a few isolated locations. Outside of that, plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures will slowly moderate only to right around the freezing mark this afternoon. So it's a little warmer than yesterday, but still obviously very, very cold. Then this evening you are in the 20s as we go forward in this forecast. Friday's that day we get up to about 45 degrees for your high temperature. It's a dry day. And then we'll work our way into the weekend. Saturday, showers, 44 degrees. But for the most part, it looks to be rain showers across the area. Then once we get into Sunday, it's much colder again with a temperature that gets down to right around 32 degrees. So it's a couple dry days here before the weather pattern starts to turn pretty active once again. Saturday morning, we start off dry, but then rain will develop across the area throughout the afternoon and evening hours, maybe mixing with some snow as we work our way into early Sunday morning. That moves out, and then another storm system will start to impact the area on Monday. That one may have a little more in the way of cold air to work with, so we'll start it off maybe as some snow going over to rain as the temperature gets up to 37 degrees, and then we'll see that precip end as we work our way into Tuesday morning, but a high of only 34.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a live look right now at I-65 and US 52. Traffic in this area is moving along smoothly, both northbound and southbound. I want to take you up to the area in Lebanon and give you a look at some drive time. Maybe you're heading from that area into the downtown area, and it's only a 26-minute commute. Everything's traveling up to speed from State Road 39 down to I-70 at the North Split.
For many of us, it is the most wonderful time of the year, but for companies and employees involved in shipping, it is the busiest time of the year.
So experts say about 2 billion packages are expected to be shipped during this holiday season. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning at the FedEx Hub. Alyssa, how are they handling all of these packages? And if you turn around, Alyssa, I think you may see Lauren and Meredith's package that I put in the mail today.
Oh.
There it is, right there. It's the big one.
Oh, is that for them?
It's the
you
big
already
one.
sent it.
It's
Okay, it's good you sent it now. They want those packages in the mail sooner than later. I'll, of course, grab that for them and bring it back to the studio. I'm here with Crystal with FedEx. And Crystal, tell me a little bit about what's going on behind us.
Well, right now we're in the middle of our sort process. We have freight coming in from our CTVs. We're offloading it, sorting it between belts. The packages are getting sorted and routed to the appropriate trucks so that we can bring them out to deliver for all of our customers today.
And you were telling me that you guys broke a record Cyber Monday and Black Friday. I mean, what are you expecting for the rest of this holiday season?
Well, we're expecting another fantastic peak, record-breaking numbers for the next 2 upcoming Mondays. We're putting out about double our daily average volume on Mondays this year, but we're well positioned for another fantastic peak.
And you were telling me, you guys hire a few additional staff members, but a lot of these people are working 10, 12-hour days, but you do some special things for them this time of year, the couriers. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we like to keep them motivated and encouraged. We do 5 days of cheer, some additional food, just to support them and let them know that we are proud of them and appreciate all of their efforts.
Very nice for them this busy time of year. And we were talking about kind of those last-minute packages that you need to get shipped. The last day to do FedEx 2-day shipping is December 20th. That's next Friday?
That's correct.
That's next Friday. So just be aware of that. Mark your calendar right now so that you can make sure your gifts get where they're going just in time for Christmas. I'll send it back to you in studio.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Consistently unanswered phone calls leave a New Mexico woman frustrated. New at 6:24, how a voicemail and a returned call landed her the help that she was looking for. We'll be right back.
All Culligan water and start saving today.
Welcome in at 6:25. We are taking a look at what is trending at 6, and here is a great story about a grandma.
And I was wondering if you had a tall walker for a 5-foot person.
An elderly woman in Albuquerque in need of a walker mistakenly calls the wrong place. After 4 unanswered calls, Bernice decided to leave a voicemail. She thought she was calling a medical supply store, but accidentally got the last digit wrong. She had actually called a special agent at the Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office. The employees decided to find the walker for Bernice, then they all chipped in to pay for it.
Oh, I love that story.
Such a happy ending.
That's what you're supposed to do. Find solutions, right? Good job.
A wrong number gone right. Well, an unexpected call from the police chief. It's usually not good news, right? No. But for nearly 24 shoppers at a Florida Walmart, it was. The Dade City, Florida police chief called 26 families with layaways, letting them know that the department had paid off their accounts. In total, $4,300 worth of gifts paid off, all thanks to anonymous donations to the police department.
Wow, is this Good News Friday? What's happening today? That's
the
awesome.
holiday season.
Here's another heartwarming story. A California Highway Patrol officer was called to a Department of Motor Vehicles office for a disturbance. Now, when he arrived, the officer noticed a woman who was very upset because no one could understand her. She's deaf and was communicating with American Sign Language. As luck would have it, the responding officer knows sign language and helped sort out the confusion. He even paid for her ID because the woman did not have enough money.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah, that's feel good stuff
awesome.
today. Wow.
Well, it's not feel good in the forecast. As you step out the door, you'll feel the cold pretty quickly, Todd.
Yeah, we're in the teens, but it's December, right?
Yeah.
It happens this time of year, so you just need to bundle up, get going this morning, make sure you have the heavier coat, and you'll be just fine. The good news is we're not dealing with any precipitation, so as we go forward in this forecast, some high thin clouds moving through right now, and that is actually helping the temperatures from falling much more this morning and throughout the next 4 hours. You'll notice the temperatures are going to be in the 20s across the area, with skies that'll be partly mostly sunny. Highs today eventually get up to right around freezing in the city, closer to 40 in southern locations, but a little colder to the north. So it's a cold day for us, but it's also the coldest day we have in our 7-day planning forecast. Warmer temperatures are in our near future. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Have you seen the cost of new cars lately, which now average $30,000? What about a new iPhone, which can set you back about $1,000?
Yeah, working for you this morning, our John Matarese shows us a great way to lower that cost so you don't waste your money.
We all love new stuff, especially around the holidays, but buying new can be costly. So when it comes to buying for yourself, we have a list of things you should buy used instead. Once those holiday season credit card bills start coming in, you may need to tighten the belt. So a new report from CNBC lists some things you should purchase used to save a small fortune. Number 1, cars, especially 3-year-old lease trade-ins that can be half the price of new. 2, baby items like jogging strollers and clothing. 3, refurbished phones and laptops. If you buy from Apple or Samsung, it'll be guaranteed good as new at 30% off. And 4, sporting goods and outdoor gear like tents and backpacks. So if your kid doesn't like the sport, you're not out thousands of dollars. Doesn't that stink file? Some items not to buy used. Unless it's factory refurbished, a used laptop is risky. It may have been dropped. You'll say, doesn't that stink? And for safety's sake, avoid used baby cribs, car seats, bike helmets, kitchen appliances like dishwashers and beds, as in bed bugs. Sure, if you're buying someone else a holiday gift, they probably would expect it to be new in the box. Just make sure they're okay with receiving a used item so you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
It is Wednesday, December the 11th, and here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. The family of an Indianapolis man who was hit by a car is hoping that someone comes forward with information that can help police find the driver responsible. Marvin Carter was hit by a vehicle on 16th Street on the city's west side on Sunday afternoon. The driver did not stop. If you have any information about this case, you're urged to contact Metro Police.
The family of an Indiana toddler that fell from a cruise ship in Puerto Rico is set to announce a lawsuit against Royal Caribbean. 18-month-old Chloe Wiegand died after falling from an open window while being held by her grandfather in July. Her family blames the cruise ship for leaving the window open, but the grandfather, Salvatore Anello, is being charged with negligent homicide.
A Tri-West high school student has been arrested and amid accusations that he sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl. Zachary Johns is charged with sexual battery and sexual misconduct with a minor. Prosecutors in Hendricks County say that Johns had sex with a 15-year-old girl back in July and didn't stop when the girl said to. Records show that he was 18 at the time.
Another branch of the Indianapolis Public Library will soon be closing for renovation. The Lawrence branch will temporarily close on January the 5th. This is the branch's first major makeover since it opened back in 1983. The $1.5 million project will include an updated entrance, new study and tutoring areas, and new restrooms as well. Completion is set for late spring or early summer.
A two-car crash in Plainfield ended with one of the cars in a swimming pool. The Plainfield Fire Department tweeted these pictures of the aftermath. This happened just before 5 o'clock Tuesday near Simmons and Oliver. Investigators say the cars collided at the intersection, and it appears one hit the home and crashed right through a fence into a pool. The fire department says 3 people in that car were transported to the hospital for evaluation.
And here at 6:31, we do want to bring in our own Todd Clausen to talk about our forecast on this Wednesday. And Todd, that cold air hits you right when you step outside.
Yeah, it's all about the cold here this morning. There's no doubt about that. You need to bundle up as you walk out the door as the chill is in place. The good news is this is the coldest morning, though, that we have in our extended forecast. So at least that's somewhat good news. You'll need the sunglasses today from start to finish once the sun comes up, and also the hat and gloves, a necessity this morning, especially if you have to be outside for an extended period of time. And the winter jacket from this point forward, unless we get one of those unseasonably warm days, is going to be needed for the foreseeable future. So here's what it really feels like outside right now when you factor in just a little bit of a wind. The wind's not super strong, but it's enough to put wind chill values down into the single digits in a few locations. 11 is what it feels like in Indianapolis. High thin clouds moving through right now will expand out, and you notice there's a little bit of snow out there in central Illinois. It's actually holding together a little better than I expected, so it's not out of the question. A few snow showers could sneak into northern locations here throughout the morning hours, but for most of us, it's dry with those high clouds moving through, but temperatures really don't warm a whole lot throughout the day today. We're in the teens and 20s right now. We'll eventually slowly get up to about 30 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Tomorrow, we're back up into the 40s. More on that forecast and beyond coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now at traffic. I-465 and I-69 here on the northeast side. You can see lots of headlights moving across your screen, both northbound and southbound, picking up at this early hour. Everything is traveling up to speed.
Only on RTV6, there are concerns about a park project in the name of an Indianapolis iconic leader. There's the park, and this is the Reverend Charles Williams Park. It is located in the 3200 block of Sutherland Avenue on the city's near north side. Williams was a former leader of the Indiana Black Expo. After his death in 2002, the park was named in his honor in 2015. Several people have questions as to why there has been no progress on the property. RTV6 says that a blueprint calls for a playground, a parking lot, and a performance shelter as well. That came with a price tag of $1.7 million. Indy Park says a separate advisory group, which has been meeting for the past 6 months, is responsible for the future of that park.
I don't see any point in having his name stuck in the ground over there and doing nothing with the property that they say is Charles Williams Park. I want a park, but I want a safe park, a park they can come and feel safe in.
That advisory group is waiting for a grant to help build the project. The president of the group just happens to be the fiancé of Reverend Williams' daughter, and he says they're on a personal quest to make sure the park gets built and gets built the right way. Now, Indy Park sent RTV6 a statement. In part, it says, until funding and resources are identified and secure, our team will continue to be an advocate for this park through discussions with groups and with potential funders on the value of enhancing the existing space and through our partnership with the newly formed Reverend Charles Williams Park Advisory Group.
Time now is 6:34. Are you packing some bags up for the holiday season, maybe for a Christmas family vacation?
This morning, the Better Business Bureau is releasing a new study warning you about rental scams. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning on what you need to be on the lookout for. Kelsey, this could impact thousands of Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's right, Meredith. It could impact anybody. If you are online, you are at risk to be scammed by somebody for some scam. And so one that they're seeing is on the rise is rental scams, whether that be for a home to live in or even just a vacation home rental. So I'm here with Tim with the BBB. And so we were talking earlier about an Indianapolis woman who was scammed, and she kind of did the right thing, but still ended up getting scammed.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, you can do all the right stuff and the scammer is still skillful enough and have got enough different things out there that make it look like it's real and still get scammed. So it's tough. You just want to really try and do your homework and look out for the signs that, hey, this could be something that I don't want to get myself into.
And of course, you know, there's places where you can guess you're going to get scammed, but also when you can even get scammed on these sites that look real. So how can I avoid getting scammed?
Well, a couple things you want to look out for. First off, if the property is offered at a real low price, something that's far below market value, that's a real red flag out there. You know, too good to be true. You're going to pay market value for prices for properties and things like that. Number two, if they have some sort of unusual form of payment, what they really prefer is a wire transfer. That's what the scammers like, because that is almost impossible to trace. So if they ask you to wire transfer money, be very careful. If you're not actually allowed to go in and see the property, if you can't go in into the home or to the apartment, that's another red flag. And then also, if all of the communication is done either via email or text, you never actually get to meet the person who owns the property or the person who's representing the actual, you know, agent or somebody like that, that's a real red flag too. So just make certain that, you know, if it's below market value, transfer money via wire transfer, those types of things, those are red flags.
All right, all good tips. And of course, before you go and rent or buy anything, you can always check to make sure it's an accredited business with the Better Business Bureau on the BBB.org. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. Dozens of employers looking for drivers right here in central Indiana. The resources being offered this morning to drivers who lost their jobs when Celadon shut its doors.
And a special honor for the 3 sailors killed during an attack in Pensacola. The announcement from the Navy to honor their service to our country. It's 6:37. We'll be right back.
For less at Ross. Yes, for less.
Our Hiring Hoosiers effort is committed to connecting you to jobs and resources every single day. And that's key during massive job losses, whether it's Schneider Electric up in Peru or at Celadon right here in Indianapolis.
Our Hiring Hoosiers team spent all day yesterday looking for the best way to connect Celadon drivers with jobs after their company abruptly closed. We reached out to the Indiana Motor Truck Association. They provided us a 21-page list of trucking companies that are hiring in Indiana right now. The goal is to help not only drivers, but technicians, recruiters, office staff, and other workers who now find themselves unemployed just weeks before the holidays. The president of the association says many of its members have reached out asking how they can help.
That's just what the trucking industry does. You know, when there are people in trouble, they're helpful. This is really, you know, you can just look at this as maybe another hurricane or another earthquake, because when those crises occur, the trucks load up with supplies and they head into to provide relief. And this is just another example of that.
You can find that list released by the IMTA on our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
At 6:41 this morning, we're learning more about a deadly shooting that happened on Tuesday in New Jersey. The mayor of Jersey City is now saying that the gunman may have targeted the Jewish kosher market when they opened fire. Gunshots rang out over this busy street for hours yesterday. 6 people died, including a police officer and the 2 gunmen. The mayor posted on Twitter last night saying the ongoing investigation points to a targeted attack. He has not commented on why just yet. Police have not found any further threats.
The time now is 6:42. A special honor for the 3 U.S. Navy sailors who were killed last week in a shooting at the Naval Air Station Pensacola. Ensign Joshua Watson, Airman Mohammed Haytham, and Airman Apprentice Cameron Walters were all posthumously awarded their Wings of Gold by the U.S. Navy. Acting Navy Secretary Thomas Modly made the announcement this week. The sailors would have received their Wings of Gold when they completed their aviation training. If you're looking for some holiday work, there seems to be plenty of options. But just ahead, the employment scams you need to look out for so you don't become victim this holiday season. But first, let's check in with TK there at the wall. What's up, TK?
As you start your Wednesday morning off, you're definitely going to have to, one, scrape some frost off your car if you left it outside. And also bundle up as the temperature sits at 19 degrees right now with just some high clouds. The good news is a good amount of sunshine throughout the day today. The bad news is we don't really warm much at all, only getting up to 32 degrees. But the better news, warmer temperatures are heading our way. We'll share it with you in your extended forecast coming up in just a few minutes. The time now is 6:42. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
It is 6:45, and for many of us, it is the most wonderful time of the year. But for companies and employees involved in shipping, it is the busiest time of the year.
Yeah, you could say that again. Experts say around 2 billion packages are expected to be shipped during this holiday season. And our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning from the FedEx hub. And Alyssa, we know it's controlled chaos behind you. How do they handle all this?
You know what? It is a lot of work and a lot of hands on deck during this time of year, but they have it down to a science. They have it all figured out. They've already broken a record this year with Cyber Monday and Black Friday. They're expecting to break more records as we continue through this holiday season when it comes to the amount of packages that they are sending across Indianapolis and across the country as FedEx as a company. I'm here with Crystal. You're with FedEx. Just tell me a little bit about what's going on behind us right now.
Well, currently we have our sort operation going on. We have freight that's coming in from our CTV that's being offloaded, being sorted onto the appropriate belts and loaded onto our trucks so our drivers can go out and make their deliveries today for our customers.
And now there's quite a few people here right now, but by next week you're going to have a few extra hands. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we're increasing hours for some of our employees and then adding some additional seasonal employees just to meet the demands of the season and our customers.
So busy time for you guys, and then we were also talking about, this is a busy time for Porch Pirates. You guys have some options for people when it comes to shipping to ensure their packages get into the right hands.
Yes, absolutely. Our customers can go have their deliveries sent to FedEx office or one of our other convenience locations. We'll hold them up to 5 business days. We also have Delivery Manager, which gives them the flexibility to schedule delivery dates and times by appointment, and that way they can be available when their deliveries are going to come to them. So.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here this morning. This is quite the operation going on here, and I wanted to remind you an important date. It is next Friday, December 20th. That is the last day for FedEx 2-day shipping. So if you are planning on shipping anything this holiday season, that is the last day for FedEx 2-day shipping. So just be aware of it. Mark your calendar right now so that your gifts get where they're going just in time for Christmas. I'll send it back to you in studio.
Don't procrastinate. Thank you so much. The time now is 6:47. It is not too late to find a job this holiday season. Major retailers are hiring thousands of seasonal workers. But before agreeing to work for anyone, we want you to keep this in mind. As we count down the 12 scams of Christmas, here is number 2. It involves
job scams. Retailers like Target, UPS, and Amazon have all pledged to hire more than 100,000 workers this holiday season. These are real jobs, but that for some can turn into full-time employment. But there are ads out there online posted by scammers. You should be skeptical if the person offers to hire you on the spot without an interview. If they say you need to buy something first, like office supplies or pay an upfront fee of some kind, some scammers may send you a check before you've done any of the work, or they're fishing for information.
Before we can hire you, we need you to verify your credit report. We need that information. So job scams are designed to collect personal information. And this is a tricky one because we are familiar with, if I'm going to get a job, I'm going to give my Social Security. I'm going to give my direct deposit information. So you really want to be cautious that you've been hired by a real company.
So do research as well on the company. Does that company exist? Search their address, phone number, company website. Call someone in HR and verify that the company you're interested in is currently hiring. And so working for you for the next 12 days right here on Good Morning Indiana. We'll bring you a different scam that crooks are trying to get at you this time of year so that you can avoid becoming a victim. You can also find all of these scams each day on our website, theindychannel.com.
All right, and here at 6:49, we want to get one check of the weather here with meteorologist Todd Clausen. Another cold one out there. Things are going to warm up a smidge here as we get closer to the end of the week, Todd.
Yeah, we do have a warming trend heading our way. That is good news. And right now is the coldest temperatures we will see in our forecast probably for at least the next 7 days. So that's the good news, as we'll kind of inch a little bit closer back up to where we should be temperature-wise for highs this time of year, and that is right around 40 degrees. 19, though, that is the current temperature outside. You'll need to bundle up. Just a light wind out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. In many locations in the teens here this morning. 15 in Crawfordsville, 17 in Greencastle, still holding on to 20 in Bloomington, as well as Connorsville. And 19 is the current temperature over in Greenfield. And it's not just us. Much of the Midwest in a very, very cold pattern here. It's 2 below in Minneapolis right now, where their temperatures will barely get above 0 today. Minus 12 in Bismarck. Thankfully, the core of this Arctic air kind of scoots by to our north, so we don't get into that. Instead, we'll start to moderate our temperatures just a little bit here going forward each and every day, at least until the middle half of next week. So today, we'll slowly climb through the 20s. We're about 26 degrees at 10 a.m. with some high thin clouds moving through. Your noontime temperature is 29. Then we climb up into the low 30s. By 2 p.m., we're up to 31 degrees. And then high temperatures today will level off right around 32 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So it's a bright day for us. It's just not a warm day. One little hiccup in this forecast is some snow showers that are going to scoot through the area. The high thin clouds continue to move off, but these snow showers, we anticipated them falling apart, but they've been holding together quite well. So these are going to likely sneak into northern communities here within the next few hours. As they go through, I wouldn't be surprised with the ground being so cold that there could be some minor accumulation. Not a big event for us, but just know, again, some northern locales, don't be shocked if you see a few snow showers moving through here later on this morning. Tomorrow, not as cold in the morning. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 20s. We'll warm into the low 40s later on tomorrow afternoon with skies that'll be partly cloudy. So that actually puts us above normal. Going forward in this forecast, Friday we're at about 45 degrees. As we work our way into the weekend, temperatures will be a little bit warmer, 44 degrees on Saturday, but we'll have to deal with some rain developing across the day. Very similar to last weekend where we had the rain on Saturday, and then we had drier conditions as we worked our way into Sunday. 32 degrees with partly cloudy skies on Sunday. Here is that Friday high temperature, though, that I mentioned, of 45 degrees. But let's go back to the weekend now. Saturday starts off dry, but look for the rain to overspread the area. Probably at this point, it's the second half of the day. We'll deal with these rain showers. It could end as a little bit of light snow overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. So the timing of that is good because it's the weekend. There's not a commute on Sunday morning. And the precipitation is just going to be very light on Sunday morning, so not anticipating anything substantial. I think the bigger issue will be potentially on Monday morning as the system starts to make its way into the area. This model showing more rain than going over to snow. Other models bring some colder air in here a little bit quicker as you work your way into Monday morning. So it could start off as a little bit of snow and then going over to rain, but that's a long ways away. Plenty of time to fine-tune. Until then, enjoy the nice little warm-up that heads our way going into the weekend. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Traffic is getting busy in the downtown area. Here's a live look at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. The left side of your screen that is slowing down, that is the westbound ramp from I-70 heading towards Meridian Street. You can see that is moving a little bit slower, but it's still traveling smoothly. No stops there, so that is good news. We'll continue to keep you updated on any crashes or delays. Well, it's something that's only been done 3 other times. Just after the break, we're going to show you how a college basketball player scored 100 points in just one game. We'll be right back.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
In college basketball, scoring 20 points in a game is considered having a great night. If that's the case, how would you classify scoring 100? That's exactly what J.J. Culver, a senior at Wayland Baptist, did last night. Culver is now the 4th college player to ever score 100 points in a game. Wayland Baptist competes at the NAIA level. Culver hit 34 of the 62 shots, made 12 three-pointers and 20 free throws, helping his team win 124-60.
Wow.
That's
impressive.
Let me see. Let me do it. Can you see that? It's hard to see. These are dollar signs.
Yeah.
Dollars.
Yeah.
NBA, baby.
Yeah. You see a good future for him?
All right,
pretty impressive.
That's impressive. Not impressive is our forecast.
No, the
today.
temperatures
Sorry,
are not going to impress anybody at all. And the teens here this morning, 30 by the noon hour. 33 will be your high temperature this afternoon with partly cloudy skies. A few snow showers possible as well in northern locations.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And thanks for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic.
Have a great rest of your day.
Let's play some basketball.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on.